Welcome, folks. Welcome to my little corner. This is my YouTube channel, Divine Hippie 2222. My name is Stephanie, and today I'm doing my Let's Learn the Art of Tarot series, and we are going to be going over the Four of Swords. Okay, so guys, the resources that I use for my information, for my knowledge, and for my education are all listed in the description box below. So I like this website, thetarotguide.com, because it broke each card down into 5 different categories: general, love, money, health, and spirituality. Okay, so for me, it gave a deeper level of interpretation. Okay, and it's just what resonated for me. So this is not the interpretation, it's just what I use, okay? This is a learning and a growing channel. So when you guys buy your deck of cards and you learn tarot, use the websites that resonate for you, okay? Let's get into it. So the Four of Swords is represented by Libra, okay? It's an air sign. And okay, so this could be an indication of fear, anxiety, and stress. So it's just feeling overwhelmed in all aspects of your life, okay? It's an indication that possibly the issues that are creating these scenarios are actually not as bad as we believe them to be. And solutions are available. We just have to ask God for the right solutions, okay? So it could be an indication of allowing negativity to set in and becoming so overwhelmed that we can't see the woods for the trees, okay? We're human. It's part of a learning and growing cycle, okay? We're in this scenario so that we can learn how to maneuver through it. Okay, we need to, swords, mindset, consider that. This card is more to do with our mental state than any of the problems, because nothing that we face is too much, okay? We can get through anything with God. All things are possible with God. They are. So relax, regroup, and contemplate our situation in a calm manner, okay? That's how we're going to figure out our direction, okay? So if we leave aside our fears and logically plan for the future, we will find a way forward. It's also an indication that we're in need of just peace, quiet, rest, introspection, relaxation, and sanctuary. So maybe we are just giving and giving and giving, and now we're at a time where we need to rest and replenish, okay? And it could signify having faith or receiving special counseling or support, okay? So now in the reverse, okay? If this bad boy pops up in our general spread in reverse, it represents awakening and finding mental strength as we're coming out of the isolation after a period of solitude or mental overload and rejoining the world. And so it's an indication of slowly recovering and understanding that healing is possible. Being overwhelmed, putting a pause, tapping the brakes, and looking at things from a different perspective, okay? Once we find that perspective, putting that course of action, putting that plan into action, and then moving forward. Beautiful, guys, beautiful. So now, in love, what does this mean if we're in a relationship? In the upright position, you and your partner are taking a time out maybe to rest, regroup, and reconnect in your relationship. Possible fears, anxieties, or stress have left you and your partner feeling in need of some peace and quiet. Maybe there's just so much think about it. There's the holidays right now. So maybe there's just so much going on that you guys are just overwhelmed and you're like, oh, we need to put a break on our social calendar, right? That could be it. One or both of you may have disconnected from the relationship or is seeking solitude as a reaction to the overwhelming pressure you're feeling at the moment. It could be an indication of just some quality time away is needed from all of the stress to help both of you guys reconnect and to remember why you were together and to plan how you're going to deal with stress in the future, right? Now, sorry, got a little carried away. Now, singles, what is this an indication for? It's an indication of introspection and solitude in order to contemplate what it is that you're really seeking in a partner. So don't allow our fear of being single to overwhelm us and overtake us and to just settle, okay? If we jump into a relationship solely out of fear of being single, it's not going to work out and we'll find ourselves in the same position as we started, okay? So the right person will often come into our lives when we're not even looking for them. Yay. Now, in reverse, for a relationship, this is an indication of the relationship recovering after a difficult period. So this is fabulous, guys. And this is also, for singles, an indication of recovery and healing after releasing yourself from a bad situation or a bad relationship or the end of a mourning period after bereavement. So this is, long story short, you're getting ready to come out of your isolation and rejoin the world. And then when you're not looking, your partner comes along. So that's beautiful, guys. So now let's move on to money. Sorry. Okay. Money. Okay. So it's an indication of feeling the pressure at work. Okay. Stress and worries are overwhelming us and leading to possible mental overload. And I know it doesn't look like that. I know she looks relaxed and laid back, but I think this is the Four of Swords in reverse pictured. Rejoining the world. Your world may be small, but she's sitting there with her environment instead of away from it, okay? So if you are finding it hard to cope and you need some rest and relaxation, that's how you will regroup and get yourself back on track, okay? Now, financially, it may be an indication of just feeling financial pressure for quite some time, cutting coupons, being mindful of your electricity and your water usage, being more mindful in the items that you purchase, and how you purchase them, when you purchase them. And that takes energy, guys. It does, flat out. So this may be an indication of just being exhausted from being so meticulous, right? And trying to cut back. So you're now at the point where you're so overwhelmed with the pressure that you don't believe things will change, okay? However, it's only your perception. It's not as bad as we think. And again, there's always a solution. So try to relax so we can gather our thoughts. Don't allow negativity to cloud our judgment, okay? Because again, it's a cycle. This is the fear aspect of the cycle. The releasing aspect of the cycle is in reverse. So in reverse, it's an indication of going back to work after a break or an illness or other periods of time off, okay? And the time off was needed. It was needed to get your stress levels under control and to feel able to manage your work and your work environment. So good job, because you saw where the lesson was. And even if we experienced fear and despair during the lesson, that means that you worked through it and you are releasing yourself. So that's beautiful. So make sure you have strategies for coping with stress in the future. And financially, your finances are recovering after a period of difficulty, and you should be feeling relief from that financial stress and that pressure, okay? So if you are struggling with debt, there are organizations that can assist you, and you just have to accept the help, right? Because we don't know how to read until we're taught. So if we were never taught how to manage money, there are organizations that are capable of teaching us how to manage our money. There's one that I learned. I don't know if he wants to be associated with me, so I'm not going to say his name on camera, but I use it, and it has been a lot. It's been a godsend. And I've been learning how to manage money through the principles of God, how to manage money according to God and through the Bible. So anyways, there are organizations out there, is my point. You just have to find what works for you. Okay, so health. What is this telling us regarding our health? This is rest and recuperation, possible hospitalization, because we have not been paying attention to what our body has been telling us, okay? So let's be mindful. Could just be an indication of anxiety-related illnesses being exacerbated at this time. So again, a reiteration of time out, resting and relaxing so we can avoid hospitalization, okay? Now in reverse, this is healing and recovery after a period of poor mental or physical health, okay? It can also indicate recovery from nervous or mental breakdowns, okay? Either way. So in the upright, let's start focusing on what our body is telling us, okay? Are our eyes tired and burning? Do our muscles ache? Are we just exhausted? Are the things that normally not an issue, are those bothering you when normally they wouldn't be? Things of that nature, right? Listen to the physical signs that our body is giving us. This is paying attention. If your feet are hurting, you're sitting down more. Maybe you're taking more baths. Maybe you are meditating more. Maybe you're doing yoga to aid any weariness of the body, right? Or of the mind, either one, okay? So this is, again, taking charge of what our environment is showing us. And in this case, in the health case, our environment is our body, okay? Our vessel. We want to care for that. So now, spirituality in the upright position, solitude and sanctuary, slowing down and listening to your inner wisdom, that little voice in your head. Meditation would be good for us at this time. Also, possibly spiritual counseling and other types of support, okay? So if you have been going through a tough time, this card is telling you to have faith, as you will come through this, okay? Because it's a cycle. And when you're ready to move forward, when you are understanding swords, mindset, when we're understanding that it's just a blessing. It's a lesson, and it's a blessing so that we learn and grow from it, so we can become bigger and better people through this process, okay? So in reverse, this is, okay, so, sorry guys. Had something stuck to my lip. Okay, so for spirituality, the meanings are flipped. I don't understand why. So in reverse, this is an indication of losing your faith and experiencing some sort of spiritual crisis brought on by fear and anxiety. So it may be an indication that we have been offered counseling or support, but have rejected it. So either way, what will aid us, along with the guidance that your little voice, I hate to say little, I don't mean it to sound demeaning, kindly forgive me, your internal voice, okay? Rest, meditation, grounding, as well as what your internal voice is sharing with you, okay? These are even more important at this time. And it warns you to protect yourself and to care for yourself. So self-care, 4 of Swords, period. Doesn't matter if it's general, love, money, health, or spirituality. Self-care is extremely important at this time, okay? And honoring and acknowledging the fears and anxieties or stresses or worries or stepping stones that you're experiencing. Honoring those first is how we remove ourselves from the emotions. And then we're able to get back into the logical mindset headspace. So we're going to move out of our heart emotions, right? And we're going to get back into our head. That means we are healing our heart chakra and our third eye chakra, possibly the throat chakra as well, traveling up, okay? Communication, right? So this is beautiful, guys. And I apologize. 4 of Swords energy is not beautiful, but it's all about perspective, okay? We're going through it because there is a lesson to be learned. To be more mindful of third eye, of what it is our body and our environment is showing us and attempting to tell us. So when we slow down, remember I said couples, maybe your social calendar's just overwhelmed because the holidays or, work or family, whatever. It doesn't matter the reason, okay? The point is, the message is slow down, rest, relax. That's how we will be able to move from the negative aspect of the heart chakra and move up into the third eye through the throat chakra so that we can communicate, whether we're communicating to ourselves, communicating to God, or communicating to someone else, right? Support systems, organizations teaching us how to manage money, spiritual counseling. The point is communication is required at some point. Throat chakra, before we move up into the logic and listening to our inner voice, third eye. So that way we can release and move forward and rejoin the world. It's beautiful, guys. All right, I will see you guys for the next video. Bye.